So, at the end of the affair, then what? Because that's basically what the next thing that's going to be happening as we tradition out of whatever we used to be traditionally doing into what we're going to be doing next. And what we're going to be doing next is a post mortem on Earth Ascension. Because we're thinking that we're very close to the end of this chapter, which is the separating of the wheat from the chaff in biblical terminology. Who's going to heaven, who's going to hell? And that's pretty much done as far as I can tell. So what'll happen then is those people who go to heaven will have the option of doing this post-mortem, of looking back on 3D Earth and their 3D Earth life with the devils and looking in to see exactly what was the nature of organized darkness and what all was going on behind the scenes when people... I don't know. That's all that I'm going to be able to get out in words. But we do expect very soon that, this great separation of the wheat from the chaff will actually be in the physical. And then we're going to find out how much people know about what, where, and when. Because there's an awful lot of people who refuse to say anything at all, even at this last date, when people are already knowing that they've lost the war that they knew they would lose in the first place. So anyways, I have nothing else to tell you other than I do expect some major change sooner rather than later. I don't know, because sometimes I said these things and, I don't mean tomorrow, but it could be tomorrow. Or it could be 6 months, or it could be as late as a year, but the way things are going, I don't think it's going to be that long, because things seem to be falling apart for the devils that bedevil me. I have a horrible day all today, but just signs that they're losing some of the things that they're used to torturing me with, and still having a hard time getting words, so it's not like I'm being totally free, but the path is the path, and over 6 years of it, being horrendous from the get-go, and even where I was a year ago, the wee I is because I'm not really in charge of the words that are coming out. I can complain when the words don't seem to be what sound like I should be saying, because that's the way it goes out. The words go out, and then sometimes they're hijacked, and then I didn't say what I wanted to say, but, you pretty much got what I got, and you see where the devils do change my words in the middle of it all. It's just that the people that I know that are devils won't tell me anything. And the people who aren't devils aren't given to say anything to me either. I'm completely in the dark. If you want to know, from my perspective, I'm completely in the dark as to what's going on with Earth Ascension. Other than it's been going on for a long time, and, it just would seem to me that mostly what's going on in Earth Ascension is not being done by light workers on the ground as far as knowing what's going on. We're doing our jobs without knowing what our jobs exactly are. In other words, whatever we're doing day to day, we don't know, but whatever we're doing is being coordinated somewhere else. So the brain trust of this whole thing is outside of planet Earth, as far as I can tell. Well, I'm a light worker, and I have been from the get-go. And I don't know jack shit about the timings and about what else is supposed to be. And when I discover things on the internet, like various maps of things, there's some incredibly good information, in a map form. Well, I didn't make it, and I don't know the people that made it and where they got their information from. So from the perspective of a light worker, is it exciting to do these ascensions from 3D Earth to a fifth dimensional Earth, Age of Aquarius? No, it's not exciting at all. It's a horrible terror. It's sickening and horrible to be a light worker who's under horrible electronic harassment for years and years and years. But as far as, is it an exciting thing? Would you recommend, being a hero and coming, for the next Earth Ascension kind of thing? The answer is absolutely no. It's not exciting at all. It's not like Star Wars where I'm Admiral Akbar and I'm planning out. There ain't nothing like that. Because there ain't no war from light workers against the dark workers. All the light workers do is they go about their day being regular people. When you raise your consciousness, it's not like you're gifted with knowing what's really going on, because you're not. You don't know any more than anybody else knows, other than book learning. And, if you hear a YouTube video and you get some information, or I make a YouTube video, and I got to tell you, when I make YouTube videos, I don't even know what's going to be said through me. I'm channeling everything through. Doesn't that sound weird? Well, that's the way it is. So I learn what's being said through this body when it's being said. Doesn't that sound weird? No, it is. It is. It is. And there's really nothing wonderful about being a light worker. I don't get to enjoy, people who aren't doing the light workers are the ones enjoying nature. Getting to go out with their boats into their summer cottages and driving around and doing whatever they're doing. Because most days I'm so sick from being attacked by the demonic electronic harassment that I spend a lot of time just trying to rest. And it's hard because they don't give me any time to rest. As soon as I lie down, they start herky-jerking my body around, and they've done that for years. They've murdered me and murdered me and murdered. It's a miracle that I'm still here. If you knew how horrible the murderous attacks are me to try and kill me. And they happen multiple times a day. And they're still trying to do it. Why? Well, in the postmortem, we're going to learn mostly that people who are attacking me are 100% insane. And beyond insane, it's not like they're like a genius. They are as dumb as houseflies. Somebody has gifted them with high-tech machinery that lets them do evil. But the people who actually do evil are incredibly stupid. Incredibly stupid people. And as to why I don't know what's going on, I guess it's military. Because the machinery used against me can read my mind, and it can change even what I sense and what I feel. It can change emotions, and it can make me feel emotions that I don't have. It can make me feel like somebody's sending me a love vibe. It's fake. They can record the feeling of love and then broadcast it at you from an evil person. Make you think the person is sending you love, but it's not continuous. It's like a love bomb or something, a love grenade. But once you start feeling that these things that you associate with things like even warm feelings of love for people, cuddly warm love that you feel for your dog, and you can see it can all be faked, then the whole thing about these human bodies is that they're totally useless, because they're fooled so easily. I don't know. There's something drastically the matter with our reality in this 3D Earth. And I think it does have something to do with the biblical fall from grace. And how it all happened is beyond mysterious. There are so many questions that we have based upon our spiritual studies and, very limited information, conflicting information from various spiritual traditions. And, in the past, I would have used muscle testing to go look at my questions, but over the years, I wasn't doing a lot of muscle testing research. There's a lot more to this story than what we've seen so far, and we do expect that we're at the end of having all the devils. So then we'll have people who still are not going to know what's going on. So the end of 3D Earth and 4D Earth means that people in 5D are going to have more mysteries than they could ever imagine, because I have already got a zillion mysteries that I've got on the table of open book things that I haven't had any information about, but there's a million mysteries. And unfortunately, a lot of the mysteries are about people that are part of the chaff, that haven't made 540 unconditional love. People who are in the Earth School, and everybody's heard this term, why are you here on Earth? And it's, well, Earth is a school. So many people will answer that question. Earth is a school. And what's Earth School about? Well, you learn in kindergarten. Love one another. But everything else has distorted the hell out of it. But everybody knows at Christmas time that, being human is about loving you and your family and your neighbors. And it's true that, so many questions I have about people are about people that are dark, people that are evil. And when I find out the answers, it's going to be kind of dumb, because it's going to be too late for me to talk to them and change their ways, because they won't talk to me now. And it's been, with many people, it's been years. And when I do talk to people that are dark, I don't get any information with them. They're not open, as if they want to stop being dark and, come to 5D Earth. Because that was originally what we were given to believe in the early years, is that the dark people are going to finally wake up to how stupid they are, and then they're going to say, oh, well, I don't know, whatever it was, and just let go of the past and whatever horrible things they did, and then come with us to 5D Earth and be new people. Because that's what the whole plan is. We knew there was all kinds of evil shit that went on planet Earth, and we didn't expect everybody to be perfect by any stretch of the imagination. But according to all the spiritual books, like the Celestine Prophecy book, for example, that over time people would get the spiritual information they needed in order to wake up to the fact that they need to change a little bit. Giving up meat, not difficult at all. And people do recognize the narcissistic traits. And yet people that recognize those traits in other people, beyond belief, have not recognized those same traits in themselves and changed themselves. So whoever was giving us all these, because James Redfield's information came from somewhere else, and somebody's predictions of what was going to happen on 3D Earth must have been from previous ascensions on other planets. But it just seems all the information they got from previous ascensions doesn't relate to planet Earth, and that is perplexing. When you look at the number of stars that are up there, and they tell you how many stars are in the Goldilocks zone, which means there are got to be lots of other people out there. Why is Earth so much different than other 3D planets? And I'm not going to buy we're the only place, because that just don't make any sense in such a vast amount of space that we can see, and the vast amount of space that we have right here on planet Earth. So it doesn't mean that you can simplify things and say, that there's only 144,000 real people, because somebody might say that, because that magic number comes up from time to time. So there's a million mysteries for those of you who are not eating meat and have done your inner work and you're all cleaned up and ready to go to 5D Earth and heaven on earth. Lots and lots of mysteries. And most of the mysteries, I don't know if most of them, somebody changed it, but a lot of the mysteries are about the people who decided that they'd rather be devils than... I'll never understand you people, because I'm still given to be perplexed. Why give us all this spiritual information about me being a light worker and helping all the people out? Because it just seems like most of the people I've given spiritual information for to help them out in times like this are completely they're mostly pissed off that I've even given them information. Like I'm really bothering them. And that just wasn't given to us in this long lead up to, this great change in consciousness. And don't tell me it ain't happening, because there's too many millions of us that are on board with the Age of Aquarius. And don't tell me that nobody heard that song, The Age of Aquarius, by the band The Fifth Dimension in 1969. This is the dawning of the Age of Aquarius. Harmony and understanding. So clearly it was there, and no one's going to be able to tell me, because 25 years ago, Ascended Master Sananda told me it was harvest time. So, anyways, that's all I can leave you people with, is that for those of you going to 5D Earth, expect lots of mystery solving to figure it all out.